because pretty much right away I signed with an agency here, and I got a great manager, and that's when it all started. I got on Nickelodeon. I think my first show that I did was Drake and Josh on Nickelodeon, which was a great experience, and it was right at the end when they were wrapping up their series, so it was a really cool time to be on that show. And that was it. I mean, I started doing guest appearances on tons of different networks and different shows. My favorite still to this day being Wizards of Waverly Place with Selena Gomez. I was her first on-screen kiss, and she was mine, actually.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How was that? None of us would ever get an opportunity to do that, so we have to live through you right now. So tell me, let's go back to that kiss. How was it?
It was nerve-wracking. It was crazy because it was, I believe, and I might be wrong on this one, but I'm almost 100% sure it was the first kiss on Disney Channel, period. So I remember in rehearsals, it was just a peck. It wasn't anything that crazy, but you would think this would be something easy. And I remember all of the network executives coming down on a rehearsal day, the day before we started taping, and I had about 50 of these suits around me, just staring at Selena and I, and we were laughing about it. We're going, "Oh my God, this this seems so serious. We feel like we're gonna get arrested if we do this wrong." And we did it once, and it was too much. So then we had to do it again, and it was too little, and it went back and forth for hours in rehearsals. So finally, as Wizards of Waverly Place is a taped sitcom, so there's an audience there, and when it came to tape day, we did it, and it went well, and it aired. So I guess we did it correctly. But that is something that I guess her and I share, and I'm really grateful to have had that experience.
Well, you know what? It could have been 1,000 takes on that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To get that over and over and over and over again to get it right, but knowing you, it probably took about 4 or 5 times and it was done.
It was.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's funny as a gay guy too, because there's thousands, if not millions, of straight guys out there who I think would want to be in my shoes.
Everybody would want to be in your shoes, Matthew. Everybody, including me.
Oh.
Man, I would savor that moment forever, for a lifetime.
I do.
And the same thing with her. I bet you she's thinking the same way that you're thinking. Absolutely.
Well, I don't know if she has, or she had Justin Bieber, I guess. I don't know what's going on. There's lots going on there, it seems, right now. I hope she remembers the good times, the good kiss, which was with me.
Well, you know what? That was the first kiss.
Right. It was.
Mm-hmm. So that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. That's why this show is so fun, because we get information that we would normally not get at all.
Yeah, you get the behind the scenes.
That wasn't in your bio.
No, that wasn't.
We had all this other stuff, ABC, NBC, CBS, the Disney Channel. We had all the good stuff in there, and I was like, wow, I was waiting on that
I
one.
think that's the first time I've told that story, so it's an exclusive here on the Jeffrey Henderson Show.
You heard it first on the Jeffrey Henderson Show. You heard it live on the Jeffrey Henderson Show, and we're doing it here with Matthew Smith.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah, it's been a ride. And after Disney, I was just I was in the grind. I was doing it, and around 2009, I decided I wanted to take a break. I had been acting professionally and working professionally since I was 9, and it had been almost a decade, and I hadn't really had a chance just to to just be a young 20-something. So my mom was actually visiting in town, and I went to this party in Hollywood with a bunch of my friends, and we're all actors and all different shows and whatnot. And I remember everybody was talking about what they were doing next and who they were dating, and it was just it was a fun party, but everybody was talking about business. And I got kind of bored. So I went home and I looked at my mom, who, poor thing, had just flown in, and I said, "You remember what I told you I've always wanted to do since I was, maybe 12 or 13? And she said, "Oh no." And I said, "I'm going to do it tomorrow morning." And that thing was a road trip. So I got in my car by myself, and I called all my agents and my management, my whole team, and I said, "I'll be back soon." And soon ended up being 9 months later. I took a trip all across the country, and I really just got to see America, which was a spiritual experience for me. It was a growing experience for me, and it was amazing. I got to go everywhere, and I ended up falling in love with New Orleans. I went down there for a while. And when I was down there, it was just the most therapeutic place in the world for me. It's like being in Europe. And so I ended up staying a lot longer than I anticipated. And I came back eventually, the beginning of 2010, and I started acting again. And I booked a couple things, and the oil spill happened in the Gulf of Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And I had, like I said, fallen in love with New Orleans and the Gulf, and I wanted to do something about it. And I had a show that was I was set to be in, which I'm not going to name, and you'll see why in a second. And it started, I think, about 3 months later. So I had this, this like 12-week break, and I said I'm going to go down there and do a documentary about the oil spill. So I went down to the Gulf of Mexico, and it was horrible what was going on. I mean, there's animals dying, and it was just a mess. I'm sure a lot of people remember it. And we started filming this movie, and we ended up not actually releasing it or actually having a full feature. But what did happen is I met my current business partner, Lamar Billups, and Lamar and I came back to LA, and we started my production company, Realstream Productions, and that was when everything just exploded for me. The last 3 years have just been amazing, because now I was able to transition from not only being an actor, but I produce now, and I write, and we've created this company. We have 20 employees. We're at the Hollywood Production Center in Glendale, which is just a great space to be in, and we're making movies, and we're making television shows, and I'm actually able to make projects for myself that I love and I'm passionate about. And our whole theme with the company is socially conscious media, because and as I'm sure you know this, Jeffrey,
Mm-hmm.
we have a responsibility in media,
yes.
to the public,
right.
Not to just put trash out there. We want to put really quality, good things out there, and uplift people and fill their spirits. So that's kind of the idea behind Realstream Productions, and the current film that I'm promoting, which is Out in the Open.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about Out in the Open.
Wow. I was going to sit there on the Disney Channel and everything else for a while to try to give everybody, information on that. But yeah, man, we can just bounce around a little bit.
Yeah, let's go.
It's just fun. This is what it's all about. But
I'm loving it.
We're here so that we can promote everything that you're doing. So let's start with this. Let's start with your website. Let's go ahead and promote your website right now.
All right. Well, I just directed a film that I'm starring in. It's a documentary with my boyfriend Sally Hemus, and the website is www.outintheopenmovie.com. And it's a documentary, basically, that the whole point of it is that you can be gay or lesbian in current society and be normal. There's so many negative movies out there and depictions and caricatures of what a gay person is, and a couple years ago I said to myself, we're so boring. Like, everybody thinks that this is just we're these crazy people that are like, always like marching down the streets and, just angry all the time, or sick or dying of AIDS, and it's just not true. That's not what we're all like. So I set out to make a film that showed the reality, which is that, we have fun, we are normal, we are stable, we can be in stable relationships, and we can have normal jobs and live among society without being outcast. And I was really fortunate to be able to have Carson Kressley, Josh Strickland, Eric Roberts, Eliza Roberts, Greg Louganis, all agree to be in the film. And we started out just by basically doing a series of interviews, and we interviewed these wonderful celebrities, politicians, and about 6 months into filming the movie, my best friend who works at my company, Ben Milliken, he's the head of development there, and he's also producer and co-writer on Out in the Open, said to me, "We don't have a storyline." I said, "You're right. We have these great interviews and we don't have a storyline." And I had been really against being in this film because I didn't want to be that actor that said, "Oh, here's my company and now I'm, starring in a film I made." But Sally, my boyfriend, who you guys will meet in a little bit here, and I had just started dating, and he said, you need to show the world, what it's really like to be in a developing relationship. And so he got a team together, and we started shooting. We shot at our condo, and we have my family and Sally and I's relationship basically from the beginning. And it's a really, really, really funny, cute story, and I'm really proud of the film. It's being released on a multi-platform release, which is one of the first times a film's ever been released this way, on January 29th of this month. So basically that means that you can go buy it on DVD, you can get it on Netflix, you can go see it in some theaters. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be everywhere. So we're really looking forward to it.
That's good. Let's plug that name again.
Right. It's outintheopenmovie.com. You can pre-order it right on the website from Amazon. And there's some trailers up there, and it's a really, really funny movie, I have to say. I know a lot of documentaries are boring, but we went for it. We have it opens up with a mock they used to show these films to schools back in the 1940s and 50s, and they were called The Dangers of the Homosexual. And they're on YouTube. They're really funny. You can look them up. But I wanted to kind of play on that and give the audience a chance to laugh, at themselves a little bit. And so we open up with a mock of those films, and then we just kind of go from there. So outintheopenmovie.com, and check it out and see what. That's one of the projects we've been up to.
How long did it take you to make it?
9 months. 9 months overall. Yeah, we shot kind of just sporadically because we were working on a lot of different movies and television shows at Realstream. So we sort of sporadically were shooting, and then when Ben decided to, film Sally and I, that took about a month. So we wrapped up in September.